They said it's too many scrubs playing our game, man. We need to nerf this card. Ladies and gentlemen, man, I have never been this excited to do a balance update video, man. It's September 28th, bro. I got class in 20 minutes, so let's make this quick, bro. But yeah, y'all like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into it, bro. So y'all can see Galactus and Kitty Pryde got nerfed, bro. Two of the most scrubby cards in the entire game. So I'm really excited to talk about that, right? Then we got a little snow guard change, little nerf. Then we got Psylocke got buffed and Squirrel Girl got buffed, man. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about Galactus first. You know, let's read the changes, read why they did it, man. So September 28th, yep. So as we can see, y'all, they changed Galactus from 6'7" to 6'5". And let's read why they did it. And then let's talk about it, right? So we expected Goliath to find a fast home in Galactus decks, which wasn't a problem in and of itself. Exciting new cards shouldn't hit the cutting floor because existing cards might like them too much, especially if that card is Galactus. The whole reason we reworked him was to give us a knob that could rein him in. Given his metrics spiked well outside of our acceptable range for over a week, we're taking a harder line with this change than usual based on the impact we need. We like Galactus where he was before Goliath, so that's our target range for his performance. They said it's too many scrubs playing our game, man. We need to nerf this card. So yeah, man, my bad, y'all. I might have hurt your ears when I yell, bro, but I'm really excited for this change, man. So yeah, I'm not gonna see no more Galactus on rank, bro. I'm so excited to hear that. But in a serious note, let's talk about it a little bit more seriously. This is huge, right? For one, and we're gonna talk about Mobius today, but for one, you know, 6'5", that's really bad, right? You know what I mean? There's so many, even like 4-cost cards, even some 3-cost cards that have more than 5 power. So you're gonna have a hard time getting your Galactus off. On top of that, with the release of Mobius, you're not gonna be able to wave Galactus like you used to, because your card cost doesn't get decreased anymore with everybody using Mobius now, right? On top of that, I don't know if you guys checked that video out I did a couple of days ago with that Doom Wave, that Iron Patriot deck. Galactus loses to Dr. Doom. You play Dr. Doom anywhere, you get the 5 power bot off at all 3 spots plus the 5 power Dr. Doom. You know what I mean? It's gonna be so much harder to pull Galactus off, bro, and I'm very happy about this. Obviously, you can still Green Goblin, Hobgoblin. You can still, I mean, you can try to do that like Shuri Iron Fist cheese. I would never recommend doing that. But yeah, man, we're not gonna see no more Galactus on ranked in conquest mode anymore, man. If y'all haven't hit infinite for this season yet, go ahead and do it now while you don't have to face as many scrubs as you used to, bro. And yeah, man, this is a great change, bro. This card sucks for the game. He had over 10% usage, literally cheats the game, and I'm just so happy that they nerfed it. Again, bro, they tried to nerf it once, didn't really work. Let's go ahead and nerf him again, get all the scrubs off of our game, get some new players, get some people who want to have fun into the game, man. So yeah, that's all on Galactus, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all think about him. I'm happy about what they did. I'm very happy about what they did. But yeah, the next scrub card up next, Kitty Pryde. So they took away 2 of her power, man. So she was 1/2 with this ability. When she returns to your hand +1 power. Now she's 1/0. And this is huge. So let's read on it. Kitty has been places, she's seen things, and it's been a fun ride. Dang, why they say it like they killed her, bro? That's tough. Kitty was an integral player in the metagame's best deck at least 4 times, and each of those decks was meaningfully distinct from the rest. That's a pretty rare feat and speaks to her raw strength as a card that both eats excess energy and has cool mini combos like Angela and Hulkbuster. However, as we continue to make similar synergies, we want other cards to get their opportunities to compete with Kitty. This change is a little preemptive, As we expect, Kitty will be too strong in October without it, and will likely continue to explore different executions of Kitty for a future patch. So yeah, man, it's really interesting that they nerfed her. I like I said, bro, I thought Kitty was a scrub card, and as they said, 4 of the top decks that all had different styles all use Kitty Pryde, right? So it's kind of unfortunate for the people that don't have her, because they did give her away for free like a couple months ago. But other than that, she's a Series 5, so if you don't have her, you're probably not gonna get her. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, unless you spend money on the game, which, you know, do at your own discretion, right? But you know, it's really interesting that they took all of her power away. It just goes to show that you can really throw her on any style of deck, and you know, she was literally just the best 1-cost card, you know, period, with like Nebula, I would say, as like the second best, but you know, she's even still way better than Nebula, right? Because she can avoid the only 1-cost card counter, which is Killmonger, on top of enabling all the other stuff she enables. So yeah, it's really interesting, man. Obviously she still has her ability, which is really good. Can still be used to buff Angela and things like that. Still be used to avoid Killmonger, but she's not scrubby, man. You know, does her utility change? In the sense that you can run her on different types of teams? Not really. You can still run her on the same teams. She's just not gonna be as cheap as she used to be. So I don't know how I feel about this. I'm glad, you know, that we're probably gonna see some different 1-cost cards, but you know, time's gonna tell with Kitty Pryde, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. So up next, we're gonna talk about the 2 Snow Guard cards that got changed. So the bird got changed to 3/3, and the bear got changed to 3/4, and they were both 2/3 at first. Let's read why they did that. Let's see, and before I even read that though, you know, I don't think Snow Guard's that bad. You know what I mean? It's really Loki. They nerfed Collector to nerf Loki, and now they're nerfing Snow Guard to seemingly also to nerf Loki, right? Why don't they just nerf Loki? Because he's in the season pass. That's why they won't nerf him. But let's wait, you know what I mean, a couple more weeks to see what they do with that card. But until then, you know, let's read the changes right now. So we just talked about the power changes, still have the same abilities. And yeah, let's go ahead and read. We're happy that Snow Guard's rework brought her in from the cold. However, the buff to her strength has proven to be in concert with Loki and the Collector, where the extra cards she generates are the primary reward and the auroras are secondary. We don't mind that the auroras are situational themselves, but they don't need to be so efficient in that case either. The bear is gaining more power because his effect has proven by far the weaker of the two. This change is the first of a larger series of adjustments you'll see go live in next week's patch, as we shift the cost and power of several small cards that add cards to your hand to get a more diverse spread of enticing options for different goals and play styles. That's very interesting, man. This last comment they made is very interesting. I just don't like, you know what I mean? She's too strong because you can use her with Loki and the Collector. Okay, so they nerfed the Collector because Loki was released, and then they nerf Snow Guard because Loki was released. You know, there's a common denominator in those two situations. They could have just nerfed Loki. You know what I mean? They could have just nerfed Loki. We already know why they didn't. I just already spoke on that, but yeah, I don't, you know, Snow Guard I think is still pretty cool, right? Obviously you can still use it on that Collector Loki deck. You can still use it with Devil Dinosaur. But yeah, this is the more interesting thing that I'm excited about. How they're gonna change other smaller cards. So yeah, y'all definitely expect, you know, some more balanced update videos. Overall, I don't think this change is too you know, too impactful. because you're still gonna be able to use it with the collector, and Loki's still gonna switch your cards out, or you're still gonna be stealing the other person's cards and using them anyways, right? So you probably might not even use the Hawk and the Bear. I didn't really see that many people using these two cards to begin with, right? So yeah, man. That's all I got on Snow Guard. So let's get to Psylocke, man. Psylocke also got buffed. She got buffed from 2 cost 1 power to 2 cost 2 power. She also got buffed with the release of Mobius too, right? And we're gonna talk about that in a little second. But let's see, why they gave her a little bit more power first, and then we're gonna talk about it. We've had this change internally for a while, but we wanted to wait and see how the dust settled on some of the live decks that play with energy ramp and cost reduction. We hope Psylocke can eventually join the Electro Magic Wave crowd as another common way to push for big plays. Ideally, she maintains a distinct identity from those options as a 2 cost card that offers different curves and deck design opportunities. I like it, man. They killed Mr. Negative, and that was really, one of the main decks we saw Psylocke on with the release of Mobius, and you got to buff her somehow, right? To talk about how she can be used, it really in the same way that you could use it before, but I think one thing that's pretty interesting is, just off the top of my head, you can use her, to a slightly better degree on destroy decks, getting that extra power when you use Venom to eat her and things like that. Just 1 power is huge because a lot of the times you lose games based off 1 point, so you can sometimes leave Psylocke on the board and potentially win games or tie games that you would have lost back then, right? So I like this change, man. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of too many cheap or broken things that she enables now with just 1 more power. But she's a really good card to have, and she got buffed with the release of Mobius because you can't really use Wave to lower your cost, your cards cost, right? You can't really use things like Zabu to the same extent. So you're gonna have to rely on Psylocke. You're gonna have to rely on cards like Electro, right? So I think this is good, man. I think it's good. And then last one but not least, or should I? Last but least, we got Squirrel Girl, man. So they buffed her from 1 cost 1 power to 1 cost 2 power. I think this is let's talk about it a little bit before we read. I think this is most impactful for people who are still in pool 1. You know what I mean? Because you can use her with Khazar. And I just released a guide. If y'all are beginners, check out the guide. I talked about pool 1 cards yesterday, but if you use her alongside Khazar and Onslaught, you're gonna have a 1 cost card with 11 power, right? Because you're gonna have Khazar Onslaught, so you're gonna have 3 power for the Kitty Pride, and then you're gonna have 3 power for. Can I do math, y'all? Maybe I can't do math, but she's better. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. Let's just go ahead and read, man. Let's just go ahead and read. Like Mysterio and Shanna, Squirrel Girl's total power has been on the low side for how much space she takes up among your locations. She's largely been confined to supporting earlier Khazar decks for new players. That's literally what I was just saying. And death-based decks in competitive play. We're glad to have her continue on in both of these roles, but she's a fun and appealing card enough to give her a little bit more power to see if she can find more homes. She's been acting pretty spooky since this change, though you should be careful walking through Central Park next month. What location is that? Add a squirrel. Oh yeah, add a squirrel to each location. Okay, so yeah, they didn't change the squirrel powers. They just changed Squirrel Girl's power. I like it, man. You didn't really see her like that outside of, like they said, beginner decks. And then if you want to use, Carnage, Venom, or Killmonger on your destroy deck to, make your death cheaper cost, you will use her. But outside of that, yeah, we won't really see her like that. I like it. I really don't think it um, opens her up to anything new, although that was their intent as we just read. But yeah, I don't think this change is that big of a deal. It's cool. It's cool. That's all I really have to say about that. So let's go ahead and see if there's anything more, and then we're gonna talk about Mobius before I get off. So conclusion. Okay, so that was pretty much it. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'm just gonna pull up Mobius real quick, y'all. Since he just came out, I'm gonna make a video on him as well. I'm gonna make a video on him as well. Just talking about him as a card, showing off a deck I made with him. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Mr. Mobius, Mobius, aka Mr. Mosby, as I like to call him. So yeah, man, this card is literally ridiculous. So his ability is ongoing. Your cost can't be increased. Your opponent's cost can't be reduced. We got a few decks here. I'm not really gonna talk about the decks, because I kind of want to keep this video short. Like I said, I got class in a little minute. But who does he impact? He impacts Zabu. You can't reduce the cost of your four cost cards anymore. Wave doesn't reduce the cost of your opponent's cards anymore. It doesn't increase your cheaper cards costs anymore, right? Let's see who else. Death. Every card you destroy lowers her cost. When he's on the field, she still costs 8. You know what I mean? And here's the other thing. Ravonna, he counters Ravonna, but you can use them two on the same team and just hope your opponent doesn't have Mobius, which they probably will, to be honest. But here's the thing, right? As great as his ability is, you really want to play him on turn 2, but sometimes that prevents you from being able to run whatever combo you're trying to get off. For example, a lot of people might run Nebula and Sunspot alongside Armor, who they want to play on turn 2, to protect them from a potential turn 3 Killmonger, right? So if you're using Mobius, you kind of gotta, it's interesting, you might not be able to protect your 1-cost cards like that, right? So yeah, he's really good. He does have like a little drawback, like I said, man. But yeah, man, this card he's gonna turn the meta like upside down, man. Alongside with those changes that we just talked about, I still want to. At some point I might do like a full dedicated video on individual cards like Mobius, where I talk about their full impact, talk about the decks that they can be used on. But yeah, man, seemingly he's really good, but like I said, he does have drawbacks. Is you want to get him out as early as possible. You don't really want to be playing Mobius on like a turn 4 or turn 5, you get me? Alongside like another 2-cost, another 3-cost card, right? You really have to hope that he kind of starts in your hand to get the best mileage out of him. But when he does, it's problems, man. Just his simple existence alone, deters people from running Zabu, deters people from running Wave, deters people from running your typical death destroyer deck, right? But here's one deck that's not impacted by him, and that deck is a discard deck. So his existence is going to push the usage of discard decks up alongside with those other changes that we just got, because discard decks, like I said in the early video, you're really only worried about what you're trying to do, which is discard cards from your hand. So those are going to be really good, and they're not impacted by Mobius at all, right? But yeah, man, we talked about a lot, y'all. Let me go back to this page. Let me know what y'all think of these balance changes, man. Let me know what y'all think of Mobius. I really like this balance patch, man. A lot of interesting things happen. Let me know if y'all agree with my analysis of the changes. And yeah, man, that's gonna be the end for this video. Hope y'all like the video. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, man. Let's hit